Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you present here today. Good evening, ma'am. A versatile and an engaging performer, Srimati Gayathri Venkataraghavan has carved a niche for herself. Srimati Gayathri started her training under Lakshmanan Vadyar when she was just 7 years old, and after his demise, she went on to learn from Guru Rajalakshmi, who nurtured Gayatri's love for music. Later, Gayathri came under the tutelage of Guru Padma Veera Raghavan, a direct disciple of Sri Aryakudi Ramanujayangar and Sri K.V. Narayan Swami. During her early days, Gayathri spent many hours in rigorous practice and also participated in several competitions conducted by prestigious sabhas in Chennai. In 1990, Gayathri came under the guidance of Vidwan A. Sundaresan. Gifted with a robust, clear voice, she spans across octaves with ease. An A-top graded artist of All India Radio, she has anchored programs for Doordarshan, including a special documentary on Vidushi M.S. Subbalakshmi during her centenary celebrations. Srimati Gayathri has also performed extensively in various prestigious venues in India and abroad, and is also the recipient of many awards and accolades. Today, Srimati Gayathri will be presenting to us an analysis of G. N. Balasubramaniam's compositions, and she will also speak about G.N.B. Sir as a performer and the famous G.N.B. Bani. Waiting, ma'am.
Varavallabharamana Vignaharana Varavallabharamana Vignaharana Sarasiruga Charana Mampalaya Varavallabharamana Vignaharana Sarasiruga Charana Mampalaya Varavallabharamana Ramana Haramukodbhava Suragananayaka Harividindradiharsha Pradayaka Harividindradiharsha Pradayaka Varavallabha Ramana Karadrita Kamala Gadaritanu Bija Purapashot Paladanya Rucha Dashana Smarashata Sundara Smarasaka Kaladara Smritajana Mandara Shri Lambodara Shrutajana Mandara Shri Lambodara Varavallabha Ramana Vignaharana Sarasiruga Charana Mampalaya Varavallabha Ramana Namaskarams to all of you at the outset. I just want to tell you all that it is such a blessing to be sitting here within meters from Kapalishwara Koil, which is a very significant place in GN Sir's history, and to discuss about this great maestro who has lived such an illustrious life. I want to thank the Music Forum and Shruti for inviting me into this Lec-dem Mela, and Sukanya ji and Usha ji specifically for insisting that I take up Sri G.N. Sir. It's also many reasons to that. It's also happens that my guru was such a big fan of G.N. Sir. Sri A. Sundaresan Mama was a young teenager when G.N. Sir was in his peak of his career, and he used to regale us with small stories, you know, where he used to tell us, G.N. Sir இப்படி இருப்பார், அவர் அப்படி அப்படி திரும்பினா அப்படி கடுக்கன் அப்படி மின்னும், அவர் வந்து அந்த பேகடாயில் வந்து ஒரு இடத்துல போய் சஞ்சாரம் பண்ணிவிட்டு என்னை பார்த்து விங்க் பண்ணுவார், இந்த இடத்துல நிற்கிறேன் பாருடா அப்படின்னு எனக்கு காட்டுவார். அப்புறம் சாயங்காலம் நாங்களாம் ஓடி போவோம், அந்த இடத்துல போய் நின்னேலே நீங்கள் பரவாயில்லையா அப்படின்னு கேட்போம். இதில் ஒரு பெரிய டிஸ்கஷன் ஆரம்பிக்கும்னு he's told us so many such wonderful stories about G.N. Sir, and he was inspired enough by this great composer to himself go along and compose 4 Varnams, out of which Bahudari was a total inspiration by GN sir, and I've sung it in Music Academy. எங்கள் வாத்தியார் சொன்னார், நான் பண்ணேன்னா நீ பாடுவியா அப்படின்னு கேட்டுட்டு பண்ணார் வரணும். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் திங்ஸ் தட் that are very fresh in my memory. And I also want to acknowledge the amazing inputs I've had from great Vidwans, from the Lec-dems I've heard of Sri MLV Amma, TRS sir, S. Rajam sir, the documentaries on GN sir, and Lalita Ram and his wonderful book, the translation by Ram Narayan sir, and Sri Vijayaraghavan sir, who's here. I think they all breathe GN sir's music. Their family breathes music. And his son Vishnu Vijayaraghavan, he not only hero worships GN sir, but I feel he's a walking dictionary of GN sir. And Sri Raja Shivaraman, whose father was a die-hard fan and a great collector of music, and it is because of him that we have much of GN sir's music. It is sad that we don't have enough of his younger days concerts, and it's more it's really, really sad that we don't have enough video of this absolutely charming, handsome man singing on stage. We have so less of that. But whatever little we have gives us such a great insight into who he is. And I want to thank young Anaga Nadig. Without her, this kind of a presentation wouldn't have been possible. She has been working with me tirelessly to make sure that we have clippings, because this is more of a listening session also. It so happens that because GN sir's, we know that he, in his illustrious career, he did not, he had time for all his students. That's how we should put it. He had so much time for all his students, and he made sure that there were such great students that he created, so that the GNB Bani is today, it's one of the best Banis. Gudalur Narayana Swami Balasubramaniam. It so happens that my village is close to this. So when we read this, we were so happy. Born on 6th January 1910 on a Bahula Panchami day, about which he has himself written, and because he's such a great Tyagaraja devotee, I think that's a very important fact. And we know that as a musician, he was celebrated. He was called a comet, a Yuga Purusha. He was a Dhruva Nakshatra, that's what they called him. He was like a pole star of Carnatic music. MLV Amma says in one of her Lec-dems, he sought nothing. அவருக்கு சங்கீதம், ஜோஷியம், சாஸ்திரம், அவருடைய பூஜை, இதுதான் அவருக்கு. பாக்கி எல்லாமே அவருக்கு அவரோட யோகிதையால் வந்தது அப்படின்னு MLV அம்மா ரொம்ப அழகாக சொல்லியிருக்கா. So it is his Srividya Upasana which gave him probably that extra, that radiance about him, that the mysterious personality that he radiated throughout. He was a first-generation musician, and we all know, I think enough biography has been written about him for us to know that he absorbed like a honey bee whatever he heard from a young age. And, by the time he was a teenager, he could reproduce so many things he had heard in the concerts, and he could even imitate musicians just the way they sang. And so his father was rather forced to put him under the proper tutelage. He taught him first, and then we see in the many turns in his life, which has been written in his biography, and the amazing anecdotes that we hear about him, they give us a clear picture about the incredible journey he had and how he became the most sought after musician of all times. So much so that he was the brand ambassador for many brands, including Philips. We can see his handsome face in so many of the HMV records and in their advertisements. So he was put under the tutelage of Madurai Sri Subramanya Iyer. This footage we've had with the, because Sri Vijayaraghavan sir was able to give it to us from his family. It's all a family heirloom for them, literally. So, though very short, it gives us an insight. And so he was under Sri Balasubramaniam, Sri Palladam Sanjeevarao. But before that, let us, Anaga, you want to play that wonderful clipping we have, short and sweet Darbar. Doesn't it make us feel like we should take a camera and go to that era and capture everything? So then he came under the tutelage of Sri Balasubramaniam Iyer. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a picture of him. Palladam Sri Sanjeevarao and Tiger Vardacharya, they shaped his already natural skills to make him a phenomenal musician. Much has been said about this in the biography, so we will try to leave you with that about his tutelage. And sitting here, we can imagine young Mani. He was called Mani, and how he was pulled out of home to come to Kapalishwara temple as a teenager to replace Sri Musri Subramania Iyer. He was full of trepidation. He said, I can't do this. And it was then that his own guru, Madhura Subramania Iyer, told him, hey, look, don't you hero worship Ariyakudi Ramanuja Iyengar? Do you know how he sang for the first time? He was sitting in Thiruparam Kundram in the audience. When they pulled him out, instead of Madhura Pushpavanam, do you know what kind of, how scared Ariyakudi was to climb on stage that day? And then it is history, right? How great he has become. So you hero worship him. So come on, do the same thing. You can rise to the occasion. And so once he went and sat on stage, it is said, the rest is history. The rest is history, really. Sri Muthuraman sir, he writes so beautifully about the personality that he radiated and how his dress sense and how he mesmerized the audience that day. And of course, then it was a journey that, it's an incredible journey that we see. Sri Ariyakudi Ramanuja Iyengar, who Sri GN sir revered and hero worshipped. He was called the architect of Carnatic music, and it is said that every time he came into the room, Sri GN would get up to pay his respects, and he would tie his Angavastram. And Sri Vijayaraghavan sir told me a very beautiful story that I would quickly like to share with you all. It is believed that in Sri Papa Venkataramayar's household, there was a Upanayanam happening, and GN sir's concert was going to be followed by Sri Ariyakudi Ramanuja Iyengar's concert. So GN sir sang. When he sat there, he was greatly inspired by the number of artists he saw, and then he went on to sing a brilliant concert that day. And it is said that soon after the concert, there was so much buzz about the concert that Ariyakudi Ramanuja Iyengar, who had to start the concert, couldn't even start the concert. Everybody wanted to meet GN sir. Suddenly, GN sir disappeared from there. He went backstage, and then when the concert started, people noticed that he was sitting with the tambura behind Ariyakudi Ramanuja Iyengar. I thought this was a brilliant story that depicts what this man is, the nobility of this man, and what the humility that he showed. So Ariyakudi Ramanuja Iyengar was a great influence, and Muthiya Bhagavatar, he greatly inspired Sri GN sir with his Manodharma, the way he developed Sangatis, and how he discovered new ragas. And also his regal appearance. So GN sir took a lot of cue from the way he dressed, from the way he, his personality. And there is again a very, very interesting story. It is said that GN sir sang Gaudamalar, Sarasamukhi, before Sri Muttiya Bhagavatar. And Muttiya Bhagavatar presented him with one of his tamburas. And he said, in the tambura per Bharatan. Bharatan and the Ramar mele evlo devotion vechindaro. You have the same devotion to music, so this tambura has to go to you. And then the great maestro, Sri T.N. Rajaratnam Pillai. How he elaborated the ragas. He was a monarch, right, of music. And the Nadaswara, he had the speed and clarity that was simply amazing. And GN sir, you know GN sir's voice. His voice, the felicity with which he could traverse all the 3 octaves, the brigas, the clarity in the speed, all these things helped him take a lot of sankatis from TNR sir. And it is said that TNR sir himself has said, GN undi da inda sangathilam paada mudiyum na vasikkiradella appadina. So that was the kind of admiration he drew from Sahavidwans. Maharajapuram Vishwanath Iyer, another great inspiration for Sri GN sir. And Palghat Mani Iyer, they are both called Manis. So the friendship that they had throughout their life is history. Again, it's another chapter that can be spoken about, how they weaved magic together, not only on stage and off stage, how much they practiced, how much they set compositions together. And it is said that many occasions, Sri Palghat Mani Iyer would remember and regale people with how the mani eppadi paaduvan theriyuma appdin he would narrate that to so many people. So we can say that among all these influences, the amalgamation, the sponge-like character of Sri GN, which helped him absorb from every little thing like a honeybee, all this helped him develop a very unique and celebrated GNB Bani. He set many existing kritis to perfect step-by-step expansion, and to bring out the lyrical beauty and the thala variations and the possibilities in those kritis. Vasudevayani is a celebrated varna metu by him. Etavunara, Dharini Telusukunti, Nine Naminanu, Kadunavariki, Ananda Natesha, just to name a few, even Tamasamin Swami. All these things found a very solid shape with GN sir's intervention. In his words, he always said, Kriti da or vidwana ஆக்குறது அப்படின்னு அவர் சொல்லியிருக்கார். கோதுமை இல்லாத உணவு வடக்கேயும் அரிசி இல்லாத ஆகாரம் தெற்கேயும் சாப்பாடு ஆகாதது போல கிருதிகள் இல்லாத கச்சேரி கச்சேரியாகவே இருக்க முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்கார். He was known again for his chittaswarams. These were the forays into his own creations. That's where probably he started creating new things. So we all know, this is most probably all of you know this. I'm just quickly running through all this. Ramaninne in Saranga, Paramapurusha in Lalita Panchamam, Chalamelara, Marga Hindolam, Vidajalatura, Janaranjani, of course the great Swaminatha Paripalaya Chittaswaram, Rakasha Shivadana Takka, Sudamayi, Saramegani in Panturali, and of course the famous Chenchu Kambodi. His Raga Alapanas were something that took people to the heavens. He, with his own felicitous voice and the way he could play around with his voice and the brihas and how he used the gamakas in moderation and how he played with the Shuddhaswaras, all these things and his own imagery and his innate aesthetics All these things we can see in his raga elaboration. There is much available in the later years, the famous Kalyani, Natakurunji. There is especially with Ragam Tanappai, when he sang Kritis, he used to stick to the Alapana would follow the Kriti pattern. So, எங்க வாத்தியாரே சொல்லியிருக்கார், என்னம்மா நீ கண்ணா பின்னான்னு பாடுற, தோடி இன்னைக்கு நீ தோடி கொலுமார்கத்துக்குன்னா கலுமார்கத்துக்கு பாடணும், கதன வாரிக்கைக்கு தோடி பாடு, ஜிஎன் சார் எப்படி பாடுவார் தெரியுமா, அப்படி பாடணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவார். ஸோ தட் வாஸ் ஹவு ஹீ இமேஜின்ட் தட் ராக அலாப்பனா ஷுட் பி சங். வெராஸ் when it came to the ராகம் தானம் பல்லவி, he went into the every possible nook and corner of the raga was explored, and he did 3 parts, 4 parts, and he made sure his artist friends also played all those. That was how broad-minded he was. He was able to bring out the best in his Saga Vidwans also. So, Palgat Mani Iyer often used to say that சின்ன ராகம் ஒன்று எடுத்துண்டு அதை ஒரு குட்டியாக ஒரு 3-4 நிமிஷத்துக்குள்ள அப்படியே ஒரு மணி நேரம் அந்த ராகத்தை கேட்ட இஃபெக்டை கொண்டு வருவார் ஜியன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவார். So let us listen to this one raga, and that leads into one of the chittaswaras that he created.
na 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 Nayana Sadarana Na 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 Swarajati mutana bedamu, Swarajati mutana bedamu, Swarajati mutana bedamu, Swarajati mutana bedamu, Swantamalu Teriyagayundina, Swantamalu Teriyagayundina, Rabbaga Badalida
When we sing that in concerts, it just uplifts the concert completely. So again, GN sir was again very famous for his shlokas, and he brought in a lot of rare ragas also into shlokas. And there is this wonderful Raga Malika where he sings Gavati, Durga, Hamir Kalyani, and again, the other facet about him, not shying to bring about the best among his artist friends. He would sing ragas like this, Durga or Gavati, with MSG sir on the violin. Just to bring out the best, because he knows that MSG sir was trained in Hindustani. He had not only had the confidence, he also had that noble heart, to do that. So that was, again, a great facet about him. And Lalgudi sir goes on to say that he learnt the art of Poruttam from GN sir. So Poruttam was one of his fortes. TRS Mama, again, in one of his talks about him, says, Samajavaragamana. You know how famous this composition is by GN sir. In that, he would sing, Veda Shiro Matrija Magasani Veda Shiro. Normal people would have thought of that. This is exactly what TRS Mama says, but not GN. He would sing, Magasagasama Veda Shiro Magasa Magasama Veda Shiro. So this the kind of Poruttam, very subtle but very aesthetic musicality about him. Calcutta Krishnamurthy sir talks a lot about his pallavis and how he would sing not only new pallavis but also go on to present existing pallavis, established pallavis in different new ragas, new talas, and give it a new dimension. So these people have all been trendsetters, there's nothing they haven't done, that generation. In fact, MLV Amma Cholra, in one of her lectures, she says, Lec-dem, she says, probably 1930 ஆரம்பிச்சு 50 வரைக்கும் or 1925 ஆரம்பிச்சு ஒரு 25 years is the golden period of Carnatic music. நாங்கள்லாம் ரொம்ப கொடுத்து வச்சுருக்கோம் அதை கேட்கறதுக்கு. அப்புறமே எல்லாம் மாறி போயிடுத்து. இப்போ பாடணும்னா ஆங்ஸைட்டியாக இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்கான் அந்த லெக்டெமில். என்ன ரசிகாலோட எதிர்பார்ப்பு எல்லாமே மாறி போயிடுது. அந்த காலத்தில் அவள்லாம் ஒரு 4 மணி நேரம் பாடினா எல்லாரும் அசையாமல் உட்காந்து கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தான்னு ரொம்ப அழகாக சொல்லியிருக்கா அதை பற்றி. ஸோ then we have to now move on to his why and how he came to compose. The reason that we went through all this about his great sparkling musical career, as you can see, Anaga will now play will show some of the pictures from his concerts. It is because it is this amazing career in music, that culminated in so much of creativity on the part of Sri GN sir. Sri Mahavaidyanath Shivan, first of all the Trinity, and then Sri Mahavaidyanath Shivan, Patnam Subramania Iyer, Sri Puchi Srinivasa Iyengar, Harikeshnalur Mutya Bhagavatar, Papanasam Shivan, all these great composers influenced Sri GN sir's music to a great deal, and he had the greatest reverence to all our great composers, and it is his Sri Vidya Upasana. He had taken Diksha, Sri Vidya Diksha, and his Sri Vidya name is Vimarshanananda. இல்லையா? ஸோ அது வந்து அவர் அமிர்தபேகா கீர்த்தனையில் அவர் எழுதியிருக்கார். அதை தன்னுடைய அங்கே உண்டி தான் அவருடைய முத்திரை கொண்டு வரார், ஹிஸ் நேம். He has not revealed his name or given a signature in any of his compositions. And it is this ஈடுபாடு with bhakti, with his puja. Sir, Vijayaraghavan sir was telling me that he used to lock himself for hours together for his puja. And when he came out, there was a big glow about him. So you can see there him in his puja. So we can say very safely that his innate bhakti is what drew him into creation also. He says, Sangeetam சாமவேதத்திலிருந்து உற்பத்தி ஆயிற்று. எல்லாம் வல்ல இறைவனின் புகழை பாடுவதுதான் சங்கீதத்தின் மகத்தான உபயோகம். He says there is no உபயோகம் if you don't sing about the Lord. Great reverence to our composers. And to this basic ingredient, let us add his intellect, his experience as a star performer, unmatched manodharma, aesthetics, his search for the unusual, unique, different line of thinking, his confidence to try new things, his courage of conviction, and above all, the grace of his Ishta Devata, Rajarajeshwari, who he worshipped as Nada Rupa Sundari. All these things helped him create some gems that we have with us, and we are able to sing them in concerts and also use them as an amazing for the ambience of a puja room also. They are so amazing. It is most fortunate that she blessed him with the power to compose new kritis, a wealth indeed to the future generation. But he has said, whenever I was in a contemplative mood, I used to get visions of musical forms which my mind would visualize in swara manifestations. I used to note these down. As it is but natural that raga forms would vanish after they are brought out, I desired to give them a permanent form and abode by giving shape to them in the form of kirtanas. But thereafter, I did not give them a second look. I left it to my disciples to make the best use of them. So it is registered that he didn't sing his kirtanas in his concerts. There is one, they say that there is one All India radio recording, but we don't have it in our hands anymore. The one composition that we do have, where he sang it in Shanmukhananda at the insistence of Sri Palagat Maniyar, Paramakripa Sagari, we will hear later. So it was, we can say that he started composing prolifically as soon as these visions came to him. And it is said that he would just compose at a go. ஒன்றுமே யோஜனை கிடையாது. இந்த ராகம் வேணுமா, இந்த ராகத்துக்கு இந்த பிராசம் போடலாமா, இந்த இடத்துல இந்த தாளம் போடலாமா, அந்த தாட்டே இல்லை. லைக் எனி அதர் கிரேட் வாகியக்காரா, it is said that it all came in one free flow to him. And this has been registered by his disciples. MLV Amma, witness Bhushani Akka, whom I spoke to this morning, she was telling me that Kalyanaraman sir used to say, அவர் எப்படி உட்காந்து எழுதுவார், ஒரே ஃப்ளோவில் அப்படியே அவருக்கு வந்துடும் அதை எழுதுறது அப்படின்னு. She was telling me about that. So in 1948, there is a letter that he has written to Swadeshamitran, where he has said that he has completed 50 compositions. So 1948 la 50 MLV Amma says that it was in the 50s that he started writing prolifically. So we can safely say that close to 250 compositions at least were written by him. So we have close to around 140 which we have now. So the first book that was published, the publication was started, of course this is a later version, even when GN sir was alive. So 1956 it was compiled, and it is we should say that that is the invitation to that release function, and what happened it was followed by a demonstration by T.R. Balu sir, MLV Akka, S. Kalyanaraman sir, and T.S. Balasubramaniam sir. So that is the Gana Bhaskara Manimala. And it is said that Sri T.R. Balasubramaniam sir played a great role in making sure that all these compositions saw the light of the day. And you can see a picture of Sri T.R. Balu sir there. And it is said to be a roaring success. I think we can safely say that the compositions chosen in this book, there are 24 to be precise, we can safely say that GN sir, it had GN sir's approval. That is what has to go in here. Because 48 la 50 compose paniyachu. Idu vandu 56 la dhaan vandirukku. So at least 100 and more should have been composed by then. So out of this, if this had to be compiled, then some thought should have gone into this. So we'll take a quick look at this one book, because I think it talks a lot about the way things were put together. So it begins with the Varnam. Nidaya Radha in Andolika. We will hear MLV Amma sing this. Look out for the Mridanga Yati in the Charanam part, especially in the fourth swara.
Nadargum Parasundari Narayani Nadargum Parasundari Narayani Nida Bani Sani Sadisa Himappa Nadargum Parasundari Narayani Nisani Nida Bani Dabada Mari Mari San Sari Mapani Sari Mari Sari Dama Pani Sanadargum Parasundari Narayani Nida Bari Bapa Sani Dama Pani Riba Pani Sari Samari Nida Basani Daba Pani Sari Bani Niri Mama Niri Bani Niri Mama Niri Bani Sari Daba Riba Pani Sanada Parasundari Narayani Mari Sani Daba Sani Daba Ri Sani Daba Mari Sani Daba Ri Sani Sari Bapa Ni Sari Mari Sani Daba Ri Sani Daba Ri Daba Ri Daba Ri Mari Sani Sari Bapa Ni Sari Mari Sanada Parasundari Narayani Ri Sani Daba Ri Sari Baba Pa Ni Daba Sani Daba Mari Sani Daba Ri Sani Daba Ri Sari Baba Pa Ni Daba Sani Daba Mari Sani Daba Ri Sari Baba Sani Daba Pa Ni Sari Ni Ri Sari Ni Sani Daba Pa Ni Sari Ni Sani Ni Sari Ni Ri Sani Ni Daba Pa Sani Ni Daba Ri Sari Baba Ni Sari Mari Ri Sani Daba Re Baba Sani Sa Sani Daba Re Mari Sa Re Baba Ni Sanadar Parasundari
Nada Rupa Sundari, his Ishta Devata, whom he worshipped. So here, this very clearly he has mentioned her in this Varnam. Of course, we have Karimuga Varata, Mampalaya. You will see the prasam in all these compositions, it's very difficult to dwell on everything within this short period, but a few of them we will have a look at it. Karimuga Varata, Mampalaya, for that, Parikirtita, Karimuga, Parikirtita. I don't think anybody else could have thought of that, For Karimuga Varada, what kind of prasam can you think of? Parikirtita is such an apt word that he thought of over there. And of course, then the third composition in this is Saraswati Namostute. Namostute Sharade Vidya Prade Saraswati Namostute Sharade Vidya Prade Saraswati Namostute Sharade Vidya Prade Saraswati Namostute Karadrita Veena Pustaka Karadrita Veena Pustaka Varamani Mala Alankrita Karadrita Veena Pustaka Varamani Mala Alankrita. And of course, Narahari Suta Vidilalita, Narahari Suta Vidilalita. I just love this part of it. The way he brings about the Saraswati, the way he weaves the aesthetics of this composition, it is amazing. And the descriptive, how he brings her form in front of your eyes with his words. Then this book also has Nalina Kanti, the famous Nipadame Gati Nalina Kanti, and beginning with the Swaraksharam Nipa. The Niratamuka in Uday Ravichandrika. Ni Charanambuja, again another composition we all sing in our concerts. Ni Charanambuja Mulunaranamiti. Ni Charanambuja Mulunaranamiti. This we can take as a composition that can become the main composition in a concert. Shrita Janarti Bhanjani, he says. Then Shri Kari, Shri Purari, all, starting with Shri, the first alphabet in the whole composition, in the Charanam, sorry. So this is an inspiration for many Pallavis. We can see how people have been inspired to create Pallavis in the future generation using his compositions. Sada palaya sarasakshi, sada palaya Sudha madura bhagvilasini Buddharchita parama pavani. So Sada, Sudha, Buddha. This is how he has started the Akshara Prasam. This also has a beautiful composition in Kamas, again having the signature of Nadarupa Sundari. Paramukha melanam paradina patitana pai paramukha melanam. This has a very interesting story. It is said that the Paramacharya of Kanchi loved this composition and he used to ask GN sir to come and sing this for him. There is one famous story where he is said to have gone to the beach for Grahana Snanam, and he rushed down to Mylapore and he entered GN sir's house, and GN sir hadn't had his bath also yet, and he got very flustered on seeing him. But it is said that the Acharya told him, மணி உனக்கு எதுவுமே இந்த ஆச்சாரம்லாம் வேண்டாண்டா, உன் சங்கீதம் எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல்பட்டது, நீ உட்காந்து எனக்காக பாடு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாராம். So we hear the similar story about Madhuramaniyer also. So these people, it's been a generation of golden greats to say that. So in this composition, Maralajita Mandagamani, that usage is such a beautiful usage, and it is said that Paramacharya enjoyed listening to that again and again, and it is said that even Trichur Ramachandran sir, every time he went to see Acharya, he used to be asked to sing this particular composition, and he used to say, Mani or Gandharvanda appadin solluvaram. So this also has another beautiful Malavi. We will listen to another Malavi later, Ninuvina wherever is there in this book. And then again, another composition that we all sing famously in concerts. Shivananda Kamavardhani Shive Pahi Shivananda Kamavardhani Shive Pahi Shivananda Kamavardhani Shive Pahi Shivananda Kamavardhani ಬಾವರಣ್ಯ ದವನಲೆ ಅಭಿನವಬೂದ ಶ್ಯಾಮಳೆ ಬಾವರಣ್ಯ ದವನಲೆ ಅಭಿನವಬೂದ ಶ್ಯಾಮಳೆ ಶಿವನದ ಕಾಮವರ್ಧನಿ ಶಿವೇ ಪಾಹಿ ಶಿವನದ ಕಾಮವರ್ಧನಿ ಭವಾನಿ ಪಾವನಿ ಕಮಲ ಭವಾರಿ ವಿನುತ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಭವಾನಿ ಪಾವನಿ ಕಮಲ ಭವಾದಿ ವಿನುತ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ನಾವಾಭರಣ ಭೂಷಣಿ ನಾವಾಕ್ಷರ ರೂಪಿಣಿ ಶಿವನದ ಕಾಮವರ್ಧನಿ ಶಿವೇ ಬಾಗಿ ಶಿವನದ ಕಾಮವರ್ಧನಿ time, but this is something that can be developed very beautifully in concerts. And here again, it's a very descriptive way in which he talks about her Bhavani, Pavani, and Shivananda Kamavardhini, Bhavaranya Davanale. Look at the prasam here again, the play of words, how naturally it comes to him. There is again a very beautiful composition in Arabi in this book, Maravanune Nannu. Varavani Kamala Sevite, he says in this composition, where I feel Kamalavani Sevita Parshvam could have been the inspiration for that line. Again, another wonderful composition, 2 compositions in Kannada in the same book. நீயல்லாலி நீ யார் என்னை காப்பார் நீத முறைக்க வேணுமோ. Look at the personal touch, the way he talks to her. It's like Shyama Sastri's conversation with Amma. நீத முறைக்க வேணுமோ நீலகண்டன் மனோஹரி நீயல்லாலி நீ யார் என்னை காப்பார். There is a very beautiful Natakurunji composition in this Nagabaya. And then we have Shankara Mahadeva Manohari. Again, a very famed composition in Deva Manohari. We know how famous he was for his Deva Manohari in his concert career. And this, again, has been an inspiration for so many Ragam Tanam Pallavi Sahityas. Shankara Mahadeva Manohari. So, Mahadeva Manohari, the play of words, again, very akin to many of Muthuswami Dikshitar's mudras there. So, the Raga mudra, hidden in so many compositions like this. Then it has Marakoti Sundari in Bahudari, again a wonderful composition. We look at another Bahudari later. Ni Samanam Evarulerani in Shubhabanturali. This particular composition, I think, it is a wonderful example for... Again, one aspect about G.N. Sir that we have to see in all his compositions, instantly he'll bring the raga there. You know, within 3-4 swaras, you can make out what raga he's composed it in. So, for this, there's a very beautiful recording by Srimati Radha Jayalakshmi. We are not able to play everything. Wish we could have a 3-hour listening session of all these things. Ni zamanamavarule ni zamana. There itself, we are sure. Oh, okay, we are going to listen to Shubha Panturali. So, and again, the Swarakshara, it starts with the Swarakshara. And then Nidaya Galguno in Shanuka Priya, he was a past master of that raga. Then we have this, again, another famous composition we all sing in concerts. Ranjani, Niranjani, ರಂಜನಿ ನಿರಂಜನಿ ರತ್ನ ಕಂಚುಕಾಭರಣ ಭೂಷಣಿ ತಲ್ಲಿ ರಂಜನಿ ನಿರಂಜನಿ ರತ್ನ ಕಂಚುಕಾಭರಣ ಭೂಷಣಿ ತಲ್ಲಿ ರಂಜನಿ ನಿರಂಜನಿ ರತ್ನ ಕಂಚುಕಾಭರಣ ಭೂಷಣಿ ತಲ್ಲಿ ರಂಜನಿ ಪಂಚಬಾಣಾರಿ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಸಖಿ ಪ್ರಣವಾಕಾರ ಪಂಚರ ಸ್ಥಿತ ಸುಖಿ ಕಂಚದಳ ಲೋಚನಿ ಕಾಮಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕಮಲ. Again, in this particular composition, the Chittaswaram is something we need to look at. So we'll quickly see that. ಕಂಚದಳ ಲೋಚನಿ ಕಾಮಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕರುಣಾರಸಯುತ ಚಾರು ಕಟಾಕ್ಷಿ ಸಂಚಿತ ಪಾಪಮೆಲ್ಲ ಪೋಕೊಟ್ಟಿ ಸಂಚಿತ ಪಾಪಮೆಲ್ಲ ಪೋಕೊಟ್ಟಿ ಸಂಚಲ ಮುದೀರ್ಚಿ ಸದಾ ಬ್ರೋವು ಮಗಸ ರಿಗ ಮದಸ ನಿದ ಸ ನಿದ ನಿದ ಮಗಸ ರಿಗ ಮದಸ ಸ ನಿದ ನಿದ ಮಗ ಮಗಸ ರಿಗ ಮದಸ ರಿಗ ಮಗದದ ಮಗಸ ನಿದ ಸ ನಿದ ನಿದ ಮಗ ಮದ ನಿದ ಮಗಸ ರಿಗ ಮದಸ ರಿಗ ಮಗಗ ಮಗಸ ನಿದ ಕಸ ನಿದ ಮ ಸ ನಿದ ಮಗ ರಂಜನಿ ನಿರಂಜನಿ ರತ್ನ ಪಂಚುಕಾಭರಣ ಭೂಷಣಿ ತಲ್ಲಿ ರಂಜನಿ. There is this composition in Simendra Madhyamam in this பொறுமையை இழந்தேன், he says, like in a very personal way. Kamalasani Sundari in Kalyani. Kalyani, you know, he was again a past master in this particular raga. We can say GN sir was born to sing Kalyani. In this composition also, Gadabamagarisa. That's how he starts the composition. Gadabamagarisa Kamalasani. Instantly giving away the raga. Tamasamigatalanu in Abhogi. Again, even this. Dasadama. That's how he starts. Tamasamiga. Bringing out Abhogi in 2-3 swaras. Gadiveramma in Bhairavi. Again, this is a very famous composition in Mishra Chapu, which can be sung as a main composition in many concerts. And then this book finishes with a Tillana in Hamsanandi. The reason I thought we should quickly go through this particular book and the list among the other books is because it probably has had GN Sir's intervention when it came to selecting the compositions. And it talks to us from the Varnam right up to the Tillana. It shows the various forms that he has composed, and all the talas are covered here. Of course, later on there is Kantachati, Triputtai and Mishra Champai. We will look into that also. So subsequently, 2 more books were released in 1971 and it was reprinted in 2004. This was written by Sri Trichur Ramachandran sir and Sri Tanjavur S. Kalyanraman sir with the help of Sri G.B. Doreswamy sir. He was responsible and he's written a very nice foreword there. In 2005, the 3rd book was released, which was written by Sri Trichur Ramachandran sir with the help of Charumati Ramachandran madam. Several outstanding sahityas are there in these books, and of course, in the 1971 version, we see 2 varnams, Ranjani and Kadana Kutukulam, and but we will see that later. Can you play for us what he sang? Because he has composed in Telugu, Tamil, and Sanskritam, and on Krishna. One composition on Krishna, mostly on his Ishta Devata Rajarajeshwari. There are couple of compositions on his Kuladevata, who's Shasta, and we see a few on Saraswati. Even one of the Varnams is on Saraswati. Yeah, Mamakuleshwaram Shastaram Entodi. This is again an example of how he was inspired by Sri Muthuswami Dikshita Rupagatalam Rendukalai. And the other composition that he has composed on Shastras, Bhuvanatraya Sammohana Kara Shastaram Bhaje. Again, Sammohana Kara. Beautiful way to bring the Raga Mudra.
Mama Kundeshwaram Shastaram Santatam Chindayekam Adantatandava Puravikaram Mama Kundeshwaram Shastaram Santatam Chindayekam Adantatandava Puravikaram Mama Kundeshwaram
We wanted to begin with Shasta, his Kuladevata, and then we go on to the Varnams that he has composed. The Ranjani Varnam, of course, is very, very famous. Aruga Padame Inta Chala Muse Kamada Maga Sariga Tasa Riga Badayinta Chala Muse Kamadanida Maga Sariga Sari Sanita Sarigama Nimada Sariga Sarida Sayinta Chala Muse Kayadanida Madamaga Madanida Maga Sariga Maga Sari Sanita Sariga Maga Sarigam Sanida mada da sariga sarinida mada sariga da sari mada saga mada riga mada inta chalamu se kari gaga sanida mada darisa riga sanida maga mada sariga sari sanida sanida nida maga sari da sariga mada sanida mada da sariga sariga da sariga mada sariga gama da sariga sariga mada sari gama da sari sanida maga sari sanida sariga mada sanida maga sariga mada inta Chalamu Riga Sariga Da Sariga Mada Sariga Gamada Sariga Sariga Mada Sariga. So you see the Shrotovahayati here. And the other Varnams he has composed are Varali, Hindolam, Yadukula Kambodi. He was greatly inspired by Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, the great Vidwan. And so he picked up a few of those Hindustani ragas for his composition, and he has sung Gavati in many places in shlokas. We would like to hear that Varnam in Gavati, just one small bit.
Mudram
Yeah, little bit of the shloka.
Jnanamayim Dadanamaparam Hasambudam Mudram Jnanamayim Dadanamaparam Hasambudam Januni Mudam Jnanamayim Dadanamaparam Hasambudam Januni Kamalavadini Mambagi Kamalavadini Mambagi Kami Tata Padadayagi Pagamari Sadama Nini Sadama Bagama Ma Pani Sadama Panama Pagamari Sadama Nini Sadama Bagama Pagamari Sama Pani Sama Pani Sama Pagamari Sama Pagamari Sama Pani Sadama Panama Pagamari Sadama Nini Sadama Bagama Pagamari Sama Pani Sadama Pani Sama Pagamari Sadama Bagama Pagamari
He's gone on to compose a number of compositions in Valaji, Hindolam, Bhairavi, Shanmugapriya, Saveri, and Purvi Kalyani. This has to be mentioned. Madhura Puri Kalyani in Viloma Chapu, probably inspired by Ninu Vinaga Mari. And also maybe Meena Lochana Brova of Shyama Sastry, which are both in Viloma Chapu. So he has started this composition on Madhura Meenakshi in Viloma Chapu, which is this is one aspect, about some of these great composers that I want to, I always have dwelt upon, I just wanted to share. They never fought shy of showing that they were inspired by something. It's very easy for them to hide these things. With their intellect, they could have created something totally new. But they want to show us, they want to create a stamp. They're saying, hey, look, this is what I followed. This is the inspiration. The Trinity are my inspiration. So you can find that in a number of compositions. Can you play Marive Ragati by DKJ, sir? His compositions were sung by so many generations, still being sung by so many generations. It's going to be sung by many, many more generations. So this Mala we will hear.
Marive Ragatina Kavaru, Amba Marive Ragatina Kavaru, Amba Marive Ragatina Kavaru, Mahilo Danilvina, 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 Amba Marive Ragatina Kavaru, Amba.
Let's hear the chittas.
Ragatina Kavaru, Amba. Durita Pagarane Bavadarane, Durita Pagarane Bavadarane, Haribagi Shadi Vinuta Charane, Haribagi Shadi Vinuta Charane, Parikirti Navajavarane, Parikirti Navajavarane, Parikirti Navajavarane, Parikirti Navajavarane, Navajavarane, Giridalva Ananda Parane, Giridalva Ananda Nidariva Pagavati, Nidariva Pagavati, Nidariva Pagavati, Nidariva Pagavati, Nidariva Pagavati, Nidariva Pagavati, Nidariva Kavaru, Mahiro Niluvina, Ragatina.
Tyagaraja Swami greatly inspired Sri Jian Sir. As we can see, he has clearly told this in his own composition, again in Mishra Jampa, another raga that he has employed. मानवकुलभूषण श्री त्यागराज मानवकुलभूषण श्री त्यागराज असमान संगीत साहित्य निपुणग्रेश मानवकुलभूषण श्री त्यागराज असमान संगीत साहित्य निपुणग्रेश मानवकुलभूषण. So he has employed a lot of these ragas, Kannada, Andolika, Karanamemi, Abhogi, we already saw that, and Narayani. Do we have Narayani by Rajam sir? One quick half first minute.
Moralanu vina Radha Narayani na dovada na moralini vina Radha Narayani na dovada na moralini vina Radha na.
I'm so sorry, we have to truncate all these things because of paucity of time, but wanted us to hear at least little bit of it so that it inspires us to go back and listen to the full version. Can you also play the Hamsanada? Again, I think this is a very beautiful inspiration on the part of, you see, he took the idea of the Sahitya from Bahudari, but he employed it in Hamsanadam, and very cleverly he employs that word. Can we hear that?
Sarasaki sakala loka buddha samurati sakaleta Sarasaki sakala loka buddha samurati sakaleta Bando di brava paraja Marita bhavani bharama Brova bharama Gora bhavasagara.
Kalyan Raman sir goes on to do a wonderful Puruttam in this concert for Brova Bharama. So, Brova Bharama, Atitatla Brova eduthe. Bharama, on the face of it, it's Bharama. Then, Brova Bharama, the way he brings it in, it's again a very interesting facet. Compositions like this. We all know that he was Samaja Vargamana. It was a big hit by GN sir when he sang it in concerts. So Samagana Lole Salalita Guna Jale Yamba Samagana Lole Salalita Guna Jale Yamba Samagana Lole. And then he says, Soma Bimbavadane Nisima Magima Charane Samajamrudu Gadane Kamadana Nipune Yamba Komalanga Kameshwara Vama Bhagasadane. Vama Bhagasadane. Beautiful usage. Nama Bhajita Sadhu Jana Papa Kuta Shamane Tamasadi Guna Kalpita Tapatraya Shamane Temadaya Rasapurita Tama Kamala Nayane Amba Dayarasa Purita. And again, Sama, Soma, Soma Bimba. So Sama, again, then Komalanga, Kameshwara. Then Nama Bhajita, Tamas, Nama, Tama, Tema. And then in all the Antyama Prasam, he says, Charane, Nipune, Sadane, Madane, Shamane, Nayane. It comes as a absolute poetry there. It's amazing composition. So then of course Natha Bhairavi, Hamsanandi, Sama Kadambari is again a ragam that was in existence, but he has introduced it with a beautiful composition. Manasurada. Then we also have to quickly mention the starting point in many of his compositions. It's a very unusual way that he starts the compositions. Niravati Sukadayaki. It's a very rare thing for a composer to start Avarohana Kramam, and you find that in many of his compositions. And Nida Bagaresa, without a doubt, we are there in Malayamarutam. So you find that in many of his compositions. The Tala variations, we already spoke about it. Kanta Triputa, Mahatripura Sundari, Mishra Jampa, and Edupu of the Talam also. He has employed the Mukkaledam, the Arayedam, in Rendu Tali, Moonu Tali, all those in his and about the Kala Pramana, we say that he always sang in Madhyama Kala, and there is that thing about GN sir, Madhyama Kalatla Padinar, but there are so many instances of Raga where Chaukama or Raga Tapadi, Avalo Arga Padirkar. And if you take Ragam like Kadana Kuduhalam, which we associate with speed, right? Here there is a composition on Krishna. He says, Mohan Krishna Jagan Mohan Krishna. So amazing intellect, and here he has used Mel Kalam and the Kir Kalam to show the essence of the raga. Of course, he dwelt into a lot of rare ragas. Quickly, let us play Veena Dhari, this thing of derivative of Chakravaka. Sharaschandra Nibhanane on Saraswati. So there you have the Raga Mudra. And can we play Chaya Ranjani? Nee Valayinche. These ragas, Saranga Tarangini, all these ragas are said to be in existence, but he's given them new form and shape with his compositions. Shupapantara Janya. He was, as we know, very inspired by Sri Muttiya Bhagavatar, and so he found the art of discovering some new ragas, and I'm very sure that because of his puja palan, these ragas must have emerged to him. Among them, Amrita Behag, Kalyani derivative. Samaga panida sa sanida magasa samaga panida sa sanida magasa Kamala Charane Kanakarune Kamala Charane Kanakarune Kamala Charane Kanakarune Karuna Amrita Rasapurane Kamala Charane Kanakarune Karuna Amrita Rasapurane Kamala Charane Amareshanute aparajite Amareshanute aparajite Rama Sharade सदा वन्दिते रमा शारदे सदा वन्दिते कमलचरणे नमत सज्जन दुरितशमने अमित महिमा गुणपूरणे नमत सज्जन दुरितशमने अमित महिमा गुणपूरणे मम सन्ताप हरसदने मम सन्ताप हरसदने विमर्शानन्द नद हृत्सदने विमर्शानन्द नद हृत्सदने दमगत्सनि दत्समग पनिद सनि दमग सग पनिद सनि दमगत् सनि दत्समग पनिद सनि दमग सग पनिद सनि दस मग सनि दसनि दमग समग पनिद कमलचरणे कनकारुणे करुणा अमृत रसपूरणे कमलचरणे. You can see that the Pratimadhyama has to be sung as a Shuddhaswara here. If we do Kamalach, we can't sing that speed or we can't sing with clarity. So the importance of the Shuddhaswara that he employed can be seen in this example. The other very beautiful raga that he created, this must have certainly come to him during his Sri Vidya Upasana. It is said, Sri Veena Balachandar sir has said in one of his talks that this raga has come certainly from the Sri Chakra, because it is said that the Arohanam is it represents Shiva. There are 4 faces of the Sri Chakra, the Urdhva Mukha of Shiva and the 5 chakras of Parvati. So, aptly named Shiva Shakti. Shri Chakra Raja Nilaye Shri Chakra Raja Nilaye Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini Shri Chakra Raja Nilaye Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini Shri Chakra Raja Nilaye. Let us hear how this raga can be employed as in expanse, and it can be even sung as Ragam Tanam Pallavi, which has been, Sudama has sung this in Academy, Shiva Shakti as a Ragam Tanam Pallavi. We'll hear a little bit of MSG sir and Vinuta Palini. We'll go to Vinuta Palini Kada, just a little bit of the.
bani kata lega provarada inta bani kata lega provarada inta bani kata lega provarada inta bani.
There are a number of compositions again. See, this is also very personalized. Vinuta Palini Gada, Vega Brovarada, just like Shama Sastri, he has spoken directly to her. So we find many of those kind of that approach in many of his compositions. கவலை எல்லாம் கலைந்திடுவதும் பரமே கமலாசனி வாணி பணியும் சிவமே கவலை எல்லாம் கலைந்திடுவதும் பரமே அபல என்றறிந்தும் அன்னையே நீயே ஆதரவழி காதிருப்பதும் முறையோ பமரி சரிம பத சனித சனித பத பமரி மபமரி சரிம பத சரி சரி சனித ரி சனித ப சனித பமரி சரிம பச சத ரி மமரி தத ரி தரி மமரி ரி சனித பமரி மபத பம பத ச பத சரி மற்றி சனித ரி சனித பமரி சரிம கவலை எல்லாம் கலைந்திடுவதும். In this we can see a state of mind. அவனியிலே தினம் அலைந்து திரிந்து தவ பயனால் நின் கழலினை நினைந்தேன் எவரிடமும் நான் இறந்து நில்லாமலே உபகையுடன் உள் தயவருள்வாயே. And again, Purnatvam, it has been an earning for him, just like Shama Sastri. That was not an ask. The soul wanting to communion with the goddess and to be one with the goddess. That is what he has been yearning for. So we find that even in other compositions like Yen manata marai mel yentage மலர்த்தாளினை வைத்தருள்வாயே உன் மலர்த்தாளினை வைத்தருள்வாயே உன்னடிய கதி என்றடைந்தேன் தாயே உண்மை நிகரியாயோ உலகநாயகியே உன்னடிய கதி என்றடைந்தேன். In compositions like this. So we can say that here was one of the finest musicians that Carnatic music has ever seen. Somebody who was a trendsetter for generations to come and generations to come. This is by no means exhaustive, and I want to thank everybody who was responsible for putting this whole thing together here for you and for us to dwell on this great composer. And thank you, Anaga. Without that wonderful, the way you presented it was fantastic. Thank you so much. And we would like to leave you with the master's voice.
Paramakripa Sagari Pari Parameswari Paramakripa Sagari Pari Parameswari Paramakripa Sagari Pari Parameswari Paramakripa Sagari Pari Parameswari Paramakripa Sagari Padmanabha Sodari Bhakti Priyavadankari Padmanabha Sodari Bhakti Priyavadankari Padmanabha.
You can hear Mani Iyer playing. This was in Shanmukananda, where Mani Iyer insisted that he should sing this composition. Otherwise, he always fought shy and he never sang his own compositions.
சரதீஜ பவகரி சரதீஜ பவகரி ஹரனுதே புஜகரி சரதீஜ பவகரி ஹரனுதே புஜகரி தாரிப பகமப தபமப ததபம தபம கதாரிப பகமப தபமப ததபம தபம தாரிப ததரிப கதரித மமப ததப அதப பகவரம் மதிப சாகரி ஆகி பரமேஸ்வரி பரமகிருப சாகரி सकल वेदा गवतारे सकल वेदा गवतारे सकल वेदा गवतारे सकल वेदा गवतारे साधु हृदय विकारे सकल वेदा गवतारे साधु हृदय विकारे निखिल भुवना करे नित्यानंद करे निखिल भुवना धरे नित्यानंद करे निरुपम कांति शरीरे निरुपम कांति शरीरे निरुपम कांति शरीरे निरुपम कांति शरीरे नीलकंठ मनोहरे निरुपम कांति शरीरे नीलकंठ मनोहरे शिव भगवप नमः पददपम रपम गदारिप भगवप नमः पददपम रपम हरिप पददरि भगदरि मम पददप हरप भगवरम कृपा सागरी पाहि परमेश्वरी परम कृपा सागरी.
This is his own handwriting, and we have that notation. Today, this afternoon, Lalita Ram sent this, so far not published, one from his book, his own composition in Danyasi, Napali Deivamu. Hopefully one of us will quickly learn that and sing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for filling this room with GN Sir's music. It's pouring outside, but it's pouring here with GN Sir's music. Thank you so much. May I request Shri Ganesh Kumar, the pioneer and chairman and founder of InSync, the only classical music channel in the country, and also the